Good evening, everyone. Thank you for all joining us today. It's a great pleasure and honor to welcome our esteemed guest, Dr. B. Neerja Prabhakar ma'am. Now, Dr. DPS Badwal will let us know about training program.
Yeah, good evening to all of you, and good evening to Dr. B. Neerja Prabhakar, and thank you, ma'am, for joining. Due to certain health issues, even then you are joining. We are very grateful to you. So, good evening, everyone. This side, Dr. DPS Badwal, founder and CEO of Just Agriculture. So, we are organizing this 30 days international summer school training program in collaboration with the Dr. PDKV Akola Incubation Center and ISCSTR Society, Noida. So we will cover 25 plus modules related to the agriculture and agri entrepreneurship in this program. The stakeholders, participants of this program are students, scientists, working professionals, farmers, industry persons, along with the many international farmers also are attending this program from Middle East Asia. So in this program, we will discuss about various topics like drone technology, agri-boards, hydroponics, polyhouse technology, rooftop farming, microgreens, saffron farming, pearl culture. We introduced this topic as we have not included in previous trainings. Then one another topic we have included once this time, biofloc fish farming. It is very much adopted by South Indian people, not very much popular in North India. Then we have also introduced two new topics in this poultry and piggery because a lot of veterinarians are keep on messaging us that we should organize something for them also. Then dry flower technology. So it is a very special session. My own very close friend. So under a 5 crores project of DSC, so he is having a DSC lab of dry flower technology. Then mushroom production, IoT, artificial intelligence, SaaS, blockchain technology, and many other topics we are covering in this whole program. And it is such a huge number of participants today attending, 600 plus, and I guess more than 1,000 live from attending from the YouTube also. And once again, I would like to thanks all the organizations who supported this, including Sri Konda Lakshman Telangana State Horticulture University, PGTSU Telangana University, Punjab Agriculture University, Palampur University, Nani University, and all the ICR institutions, along with the Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir, our Honorable DG ICR. So he is supporting always to our private organizations also, so that we'll keep on organizing these type of programs for the all the stakeholders. So if we talk about the objectives of this program, we are main objective is to enrich the technical knowledge of the participants on smart farming, technology and advancement, and latest technologies, so that those topics which we are missing in our syllabus that we are covering and bringing the stakeholders, all the industry professionals on the single platform. So thank you, Madhvi. Over to you.
Before we begin, to share some achievements of Dr. B. Neerja Prabhakar ma'am, Vice Chancellor Shri Konda Lakshman Telangana State Horticulture University, Hyderabad. Ma'am has been also the first woman Vice Chancellor among 74 state agriculture universities across India. She has done graduation and confirmed masters from Andhra Pradesh Agriculture University, Hyderabad, and she has completed PG diploma in personal management from Animal University and in horticulture College of Agriculture 1998. He has guided 50 PG, PhD students as chairman and member of advisory committee. He has published about 115 research papers and edited 2 books, book chapters 12, 145, and popular articles, and also presented several research papers in national and international conferences. And she has also served for 30 years, both in research for 11 years, teaching in 15 years, and administration in 4 years. Ma'am has received state level Best Scientist Award in 2007, University's Mysterious Teacher Award, Badam Sucha Jayanti Pushkaram, State Best Teacher Award in the year 2019 from the Government of Telangana. Best Organization Women Empowerment Award during the third International Inspiration Women Awards. So we are honored and grateful that personality like you are here for the inaugural session, ma'am. So the ma'am, please, stage is all yours. Ma'am, you are not audible to us.
లేదు ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది. Now it is. So because you are restricting my unmute, that is the why I couldn't get. Okay, very good evening to all, and yeah, dear Dr. Badwal G, and thank you for a great introduction about me, Miss Madhvi. So on this 30 days, this summer school international training program, organizing by Just Agriculture for about 30 days on virtual mode. And my hearty congratulations to entire team. So I'm very happy to address in this inaugural session about around almost 700 plus participants I'm seeing online. Hope this will useful to all the stakeholders who are participating today. So first, starting from that, you know that ours is India is an agriculture country, and our Indian economy central pillar is agriculture, and about 65% of the population so who are dependent on the agriculture and allied sectors for their livelihood and contributing to the 20% of the GDP of the country. So if we'll see that the World Bank report of 2023, India may lose up to 5% of its GDP by 2050 due to climate change impact on agriculture alone. So this is the serious issue we had to address with the upcoming technologies, how to improve the productivity. So to meet the growing demand of 9 billion population that is going to be exist by 2050. So with the change of the dietary habits, our agriculture, it plays a pivotal role for producing food globally for achieving nutritional security. Now let us see the actually how the food consumption it was changed in the last 20-30 years. If we'll see that per capita annual consumption of the cereals, which was 168 kgs in 1983, that came down to 133 kg in 2011. And eventually the share of the cereals in food expenditure, which was fell down from 42.7% to 23.5% in the same period. And in contrast, if we'll see that the annual consumption of the fruits and vegetables increasing day by day. So that is 49 kg in 1983 to 68 kg in 2011. And the same is the case in case of the milk. So that is also raised from 45 to 64.9 kg in the same period. That means there is a diversion of the expenditure towards the more of fruits and vegetables because of the health conscious and other like, meat component and milk component when compared to the cereals. And if we'll see that the total food grain production scenario in the year 2023-24, it was, so it is 328.85 million tons, getting from the area of 126.97 million hectares. When compared to the horticulture, if you horticulture with a meager area of 28.63 million hectares, the horticulture production that was, around 352.23 million tons. That shows that there is a more productivity per unit area. And there is a more production, so the rise of the production also chances are more in case of the horticulture. During the 1950s, if you see that from that to present, the cereal production, field crops production increase was only 6-fold rate. When compared, if it is a horticulture, if you see, it is 13 folds. That shows the importance of the horticulture. But however, so the food grain production, it is a main, of course, a staple food to meet the increased population of 1.66 billion people by 2050. We required of 516 million tons of cereal production. At the same time, in case of the horticulture crops, targeting, so it has to be raised to the from 352 million tons to the 777.69 million tons by 2050. Then how to increase? So if you see the agriculture sector facing various challenges in agri-food system, mainly if you see that declining in land, labor, and natural resources, and the main issue that already told, that is the climate change. So this is can be possible by use of the innovative technologies. We can increase the productivity to meet this demand of the growing population. So if we'll see the latest development and innovations, as I said before, Dr. Badwal G, he told, so they are working on in different directions. And to fulfill the vision of a self-reliant India and to meet that Amrit Kal vision of 2047, that is the developed Bharat, new India, the present an era of opportunities, innovations, and transformative growth of. So for all these components of agriculture, including horticulture, that is possible only by inclusive of all innovative technologies. If we'll see that, coming to this climate smart agriculture, which was first coined by FAO in 2010. And the three pillars of this CSAR, one is adaptation, mitigation, and resilience. So it bridges the sustainable development goals. So among that one, the 13th SDG 13 is the climate action, and which will fulfill, so that is meet the requirements interlinked with the zero hunger, that is the SDG 2. And again, the other, that is the SDG 4, which is the decent work and economic growth, which are interlinked. So we have to work on this. And what is I mean by that climate resilient agriculture? So it is an integrated approach to managing the landscapes, that is the croplands, livestock, forest, and fisheries, that address the interlinked challenges of food security and climate change. So here, if we'll see that the different problems we are seeing, like lack of natural resources and decreasing the land area for cultivation. So by innovative methods, like involving adoption of new technologies, we can overcome all these problems, especially for preservation of the natural ecosystem by sustainable management practices. So if you list out the few, like, development of climate resilient crop varieties with the different methods, example, speed breeding, and biogas and waste management practices. So it is that is the recycling of the waste, where it plays important role. And the precision farming, that is the optimum utilization of the all available resources. And innovative technologies like biotechnology, nanotechnology, blockchain technology, and One more thing is I want to tell about the renewable energy resources. How these can be reduced. That is, which are mainly uses of the non-renewable energy resources contributing that is the GHS, that greenhouse gases. So this Paris climate agreement, in that one, our Honorable PM, he stressed upon that if we use the 50% of the renewable energy sources, so that we can reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 1 billion tons by 2030. This is our target. So we had to work on this. And apart from that, one more important area is post-harvest management, especially in case of the horticulture crops and in veterinary. So these are the highly perishable produce. If you'll reduce the post-harvest losses, so that always I will tell it is equal to the production. So there are losses you can see in case of the horticulture crops almost like 25 to 40%. So this can be reduced with the proper management, even on-field proper management practices, then after the harvest also. So different technologies are there where all farmers in the field level and post-harvest level also, the entrepreneurs, they had to be pay attention. And one more thing is value addition and branding of each and every product. That is a very important nowadays. This one, is it something is coming here? On screen, I'm seeing something. Hello? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in addition to this, that integration of the digital technologies such as robotics, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, Internet of the Things, big data analysis. So these are leading to the fourth stage of revolution in the agriculture sector, that is known as Agriculture 4.0. So where we had to pay attention. And here just I'm quoting the simple one example. And a public-private mode, the Samhita Crop Care Clinic, which is having MOU with our university. So that precision farming advisory focuses exclusively on low-yielding citrus orchards to improve the farmer's income by adapting digital tree health audit, unmanned aerial vehicles fitted with the advanced multispectral digital cameras to inspect the citrus orchards. So in advance, they will recognize which plants are going to suffer due to lack of the nutrition or expected to be prone to the pest and diseases. And it also includes the soil and weather sensing gadgets to monitor the irrigation and drainage requirements of plants, to monitor insect pests and disease incidents, so that in advance advocate farmers to overcome these problems in advance so that they will get the good yields. This is the one. And one more thing is talking about the agri-hearty entrepreneurship. So that is the one emerging concept in recent years. So this has got potential to transform the traditional agriculture sector into more profitable and sustainable enterprise. A wide range of opportunities are seen in various fields like nursery, so landscaping, agro-processing, value addition, marketing, and distribution of agriculture and horticultural products. And there's, so here I want to share that from our university in the last 3 years, 20 students, they become entrepreneurs in various sectors of horticulture as well as non-horticulture sectors also, like poultry and so on and so forth. They are continuing their business. Further, that opportunities in agriculture influenced by variety of factors. So like economics, social, technological, environmental considerations has to be, these are play important role. So Understanding these factors is essential for identifying and exploiting opportunities for agricultural entrepreneurs and promoting rural development and contributing to sustainable agriculture. And in spite of these opportunities, there are several challenges also related to the entrepreneurship. That is, the first thing is the finance. Finance for small scale farmers and rural entrepreneurs. And that is, they are lacking the marketing skills, then infrastructure facilities. These are the things to be addressed, and branding. So these are the things we had to address in agriculture entrepreneurship ventures. So to overcome these challenges, policymakers, researchers, and practitioners, they need to develop innovative strategies and policies that foster the entrepreneurship to promote inclusive and sustainable agricultural practices and enhance access to resources and market. So just now, Badwal, he told about the dry flower technology. That is, he talked about, that is a high scale, that is 5 crore project. In our university, we developed a dry flower technology at small scale. Even small entrepreneur can learn this process and can start their own business. We are providing this technology and commercial scale and providing the training. You may utilize this opportunity, and a certification program is available for all youth and women. Just 10th class plus, those they can easily, happily they can do this program. And the other area is a startup. So further, the recently a government, they have this launched, that is the SVEP, that is the Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program, and Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, one more. These that aim to promote the entrepreneurship and create supportive ecosystem for startups. We know additionally NABARD also providing financial and technical support to agriculture entrepreneurs through its various schemes and programs. And one more is ICR NAM also. They are from the AIDF platform. They are providing that opportunity for the youngsters to be trained as a budding entrepreneurs, and also giving the guidance how to get the financial assistance with the different institutions. And apart from that, one more thing is there is need to promote inclusive and gender responsive agricultural entrepreneurship that empowers women and youth. You know, we are experiencing that demographic window of youth. India is called young youth, that is below 30 years. The population is almost more than 60%. We had to utilize their services in this sector. And despite of the significant contributions of women and youth to the agriculture sector, they often face the significant barriers to accessing the resources, market, and finance. By promoting gender-sensitive policies, providing training and mentorship, and creating enabling that environment, AE and can be more powerful. So that is a tool for social and economic empowerment. Documentation and demonstration of the success stories, the other one area which attract the youth. So seeing in believing, that is the one. So who are successful entrepreneurs identify and create the stories and the videos if you'll present in a practical platform. So other people will, they feel motivated and may enter into this agriculture entrepreneurship. Here, one more thing I want to tell, the other area is the agritourism. So that may be like agriculture or horticulture or fisheries, water, it may be, or landscaping. So which will generate the additional income for farmers and rural communities by promoting and by sustainable use of the natural resources. This is the one area where we can plan. So with this one with last concluding remarks, that one is we can reduce the excessive use of the natural resources by arresting the land degradation, by growing of more tree component, and that is diversification of the rice with the perennial component like horticulture crops and forestry, and by including the integrated farming system, like I said before, like poultry, animal husbandry, and fisheries, and following the practices like conservative agricultural practices and regenerative agricultural practices. Last year when I visited Israel, so there again they are concentrating on these regenerative agricultural practices. That means recycling, mainly concentrating on the recycling. That may be the flora and fauna which will be again add back to the soil, or else the recycling of the water that is used for the agriculture purpose, where effective utilization. So that is the what they told, with minimum losses, with minimum losses and minimum loss to the natural ecosystem. This is the one. And the other area is improving the water use efficiency and fertilizer use efficiency, where we had to concentrate. If we'll see one of the study that was mentioned by Dr. Ramesh Chand, Professor Ramesh Chandji, during the 1960s, the response of the each applied 1 kg of NPK is the recovery of the yield is 25 kg, which came down to 6 kg yield per each of 1 kg of the NPK that was applied. That is that the response was very, very less. Why? So because of that, there is so much change in the soil ecosystem. There is no living organisms. So how to improve that one? So more of using the biofertilizers, biopesticides, which are environmental friendly. So that will reduce the pesticide residues, which will again promote our that export oriented agriculture. And these are the things. And apart from that, we had to concentrate carbon sequestration, how to reduce the not only the GHG, but how to add more of carbon to the soil. Thereby, consequently, we can improve the soil health. That is very, very important. So with these few remarks, so I wish very successful of this 30-day summer school international training program, which is going to be organized from today to the next, that is Independence Day, 15th August 2024 on virtual mode. And by exposing to the different these academicians, researchers, and the subject experts, so all the participants in this program will be benefited out of their expertise. And my congratulations to once again to the organizers organizing such a needful training program in very broad area of subjects, starting from the agriculture to the horticulture, then veterinary related, and fisheries and poultry, so and so forth. So with this one, so I'm quoting that G20 question, one earth, one family, one future, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much. On behalf
organizers.
of everyone here, I want to say a big thank you. Your contribution made this session extraordinarily meaningful and memorable, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for delivering such an insightful and thoughtful performing lecture, ma'am.
So, in this session, okay? Thank you.
So now Dr. TPS Badwal sir will let you know about this training program. So over to you, sir.
क्या कर रही है? Yeah, good evening to all of you. So as we discussed previously about the training program, so we are discussing 25 plus modules in this whole program, okay, which includes hydroponics, drone technology, then artificial intelligence, biofloc fish farming, and many other trending topics. So as I already told you about the objectives and aim of this program, okay. So the main aim is to develop the competence of the researchers, stakeholders, scientists, subject matter specialists, lecturers, to connect them with the latest technologies. Okay, so as we discussed in this previous session also, the cutting edge technology, the latest technologies of the present time, and to adapt the technologies. Okay, so we are looking about the vision of 2050. So organizing this program is not only to give you the lectures, to deliver the presentations. The main objective is to develop entrepreneurs through all of you, because a lot of 12th pass students, lot of BSc agriculture students are attending this program. The main aim is to develop startup culture in all of you, because BSc, MSc, PhD, all we know the criteria of the education system and all. Now we are taking one step ahead. Okay, what we are doing, our top CEOs of agriculture related companies are joining in this program in this whole month. Okay, so they will tell you their success stories, and they will tell you about how to start your own business, and how to create this startup culture and all. Okay, so this program is a game changing for all of you. Okay, so the main objective, as I already told you, is Krishi Manthan, as the name already told you. तो हम इसमें मंथन कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. हम एक डिसीजन पे आएंगे आफ्टर 30 days कि either we have to start our startup, or we can say our business in fish farming or food processing, or whatever we want to do. Okay, like as in the present stage you are not known about all the techniques and all, but now you will get to know about the latest technologies and each and everything. Okay, so without wasting much time, our next guest, our Honorable former Vice Chancellor, Dr. H.C. Sharma, sir, is joined. So over to you, Isha.
Good evening to all and one present here. This side Dr. Isha. So I would like to welcome you all in second session of Krishi Manthan. So the guest is Dr. H.C. Sharma, the former Vice Chancellor of Dr. Y.S. Parmar University of Horticulture and Forestry, Noni, Solan. He also served as an principal scientist entomology at International Crop Research Institute for the semi-arid tropics, Andhra Pradesh, India. Senior scientist at ICRISAT, scientist ISI, visiting scientist, University of Wisconsin Madison, USA, and Department of Primary Industries, Australia. He was also awarded as Millennium Science Award by ICRISAT 2001, CGIAR Award Excellence in Science Award 2001, Professor T.N. Anant Krishna Foundation Award 2002, Dr. D. Blab Reddy Award in IPM 2000, Plant Protection Association Lifetime Achievement Award, Academy of Environment Biology 2005, Hariom Trust Award ICR 2007, the International Plant Protection Award of Distinction, International Association Plant Protection Sciences 2007, He is also the president and member of numerous prestigious government and international societies. So it's an honor for us, sir. You are here and I welcome you, sir. So the stage is all yours, sir. Good evening, sir. So it's an honor for us you are here and I welcome you, sir. So the stage is all yours, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. सर आपका माइक ऑफ है.
Is it okay? Hello.
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
It's all right. Okay. So thank you very much, Just Agriculture. I think we had a technical problem to start with. Maybe this has to do something with the Wi-Fi connection that I have here in Himachal. I think I'm getting a lot of, okay. So the topic is, I said sustaining Harit Kranti or sustaining Green Revolution because that's what we did in India as scientists to feed the growing population and of course the increasing need for food production. I will probably share the set of slides with you through the Just Agriculture, but as we know, between 1950 to around 1980, we had a geometric increase in total food production. But at the same time, we also followed with a geometric increase in the population. And in fact, the rate of increase in population was larger than what we had in food production. But after about 1980s, the total food production and the per capita availability of food has almost remained standstill. Now the total food production is only growing at an arithmetic rate, whereas the population is increasing at a geometric progression. So that's where we have a disconnect. And it means why around 2050, we have to almost double the food production on the same land mass and with the same amount of water that is our disposal. What had happened in the Green Revolution that the scientists developed very good high yielding varieties of and hybrids of most of the crops that we need to sustain our population, and also resorted to greater use of irrigation and fertilizers. So as we grew nice crops, at the same time, we also had luxuriant plant growth, and that attracted a large number of insect pests and diseases, and that resulted in increased use of pesticides, because if you want to harvest your crop, you have to protect your plant. Like for us, if we have to work efficiently, we have to live healthy. So as a result, now we are at the crossroads where many people say the fertilizer use in India is spoiling our food. It's not a good quality food. And of course, pesticide use itself has its own connotations, like they're toxic to human beings, toxic to the environment. But yes, we need to use them if we want to protect our crops. But what if we see from the world data is that fertilizer consumption in India is almost half of what they use in China and US, whereas the pesticide use is maybe 1/20th of what they use in other countries like in Taiwan, Japan, and in US. They use 15 kilograms of active ingredient of pesticides per hectare in crop production. Whereas in India, our consumption rate is only about 0.5 or half a kg of pesticides.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Do you have any PPT?
I have a PPT.
Sir, can you please share?
No, this Zoom was not working on my laptop. I'll try it.
Okay, sir, no issue.
What I'll do is I'll share the PPT with you, and then you circulate it to people.
Thank you, sir.
It took about 10 minutes on the laptop to go for the Zoom meeting there. I think the signal is over here. So now we are at a stage where we have to maximize not only crop production, but the productivity per unit area. And the first and foremost thing to grow crops is you need water. And water is limited. More of it is being used in the urban areas and in the industrial uses, and probably less and less amount is available for agriculture. Therefore, we as citizens, responsible citizens, and as a component of planning our agriculture or the system, agrarian system for tomorrow, one, we must store the water. Whatever water, say, falls on our rooftops or on the hillocks, or goes through our rivers and rivulets, we must store it in tanks. We must build barrages and we must build dams, and nothing should come in the way of storing water. And that is most important. Second is to conserve water, that wherever the water falls, it goes into the soil profile at the same place. So we built small check dams or small what we call ponds, which are kacha, which are just excavated, but no cement is used. So that will not only, in addition to storing water, that will also serve to, irrigate the low-lying areas. That water will shift through the soil profiles. It will sustain the plant life, and also then it will also go into the water springs, into the rivers and rivulets, and that is how the system has been sustaining for the past thousands of years. Next is whatever water we have is we must make best use of it. Our traditional system is to go for flood irrigation, and that cannot be the case in the future. And in fact, water should not be free. We should use the modern techniques of either using drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, and also have greater use of mulches, whether of polythene or of plant residue, so that much of the water that we apply in the soil is used by the plants. It doesn't kind of evaporate into the atmosphere. Then coming to the next thing is of reducing pesticide use. For that, we must develop varieties that are resistant to insects, that are resistant to diseases, nematodes, and of course have better weed competitive ability. And that's what our all India coordinated research improvement projects have been doing in different crops. And also at most of the international centers like International Rice Research Institute, International Wheat and Maize Research Institute, and of course at ICRISAT, most of you must know what ICRISAT is, International Crop Research Institute for semi-arid tropics. And that's where I worked for 37 years. And my sole effort was to develop varieties of sorghum, chickpea, pigeon pea, and groundnut that are resistant to insects or less damaged by insects. The resistance can be complete, that we don't have the need to use pesticides, or we reduce the pesticide application at least by half. And that's what has been spectacular. And this effort must be kind of accelerated. Either we introgress the resistant genes from the available germplasm, or access the genes from the wild relatives of crops, or grow through the transgenic approach. And now here I will elaborate on the success of our BT cotton, the transgenic cotton. With the release of the BT transgenic cotton, our cotton production increased from 110 lakh bales to around 380 lakh bales now, whereas the pesticide consumption decreased from around 20-25 sprays in a season to about 5 to 7 sprays in a season. So that has been a dramatic decrease in pesticide use and an exemplary increase in crop productivity. And we in India must use the transgenic technology and also the other genomic approaches to develop these crop varieties that are resistant to insects, diseases, or are tolerant to drought. There are many people who ask questions that transgenic technology is deleterious to the environment. It's not. There are two books you must look at it: biotechnological applications of transgenic technology for pest management and ecological sustainability. Another is biosafety of conventional IPM technologies and transgenics. Of course, you find the name H.C. Sharma there. You look at these crops, we have discussed the whole issue thoroughly with scientific data, which proves that transgenic technology is far less deleterious, if any, it's not, than the other options of pest management, whether it is synthetic insecticides, it is microbial pesticides, or it is pesticides of plant origin. So these are the few things that we must keep in mind. One of the biggest successes we had in this country was to develop the rust-resistant varieties of wheat. Earlier, most of our varieties were susceptible. Now, with the introduction of the triple gene dwarf Mexican wheat varieties, now we don't worry much about controlling these diseases. But this pathogen is highly variable, and it overcomes any resistance genes that is deployed in a time span of 3 to 5 years. So every 3 to 5 years, we have to find a new gene, which can then confer resistance against rust, and that race is continuing. And this has been very successful in India. Once we develop these resistant varieties, whether through conventional breeding, using wide hybridization, or genetic engineering genomic approaches, including gene editing, we can then use such varieties in combination with low amounts of pesticides. We have worked it in sorghum and chickpea and cotton, chickpea, cotton, and pigeon pea. Very high levels of, even moderate level of resistance to say sorghum shoot fly or to pod borer in chickpea, pigeon pea, and cotton. You only need to use 1/3 or 1/4 the amount of pesticides than what you use otherwise to harvest the same volume of crop. Another approach here I will refer to the high density planting of our fruit crops, and there had been a World Bank funded project in Himachal Pradesh for high density planting of apple. And with the dwarf rootstocks that we must develop for all our fruit crops, high density planting using 2,500 plants per hectare instead of around 250, the apple production increases from around 12 to 15 tons per hectare to around 50 to 55 tons per hectare. It is a 4 to 5 times increase in productivity. So we must use this technology. Of course, next is going for precision farming or protected cultivation of vegetables, flowers, and of course, the best of such technologies are developed in all places, but in Himachal, in certain places, it has created a revolution where you can grow these crops out of season, and then of course they are high quality, and of course for fetch good price to the farmer. One of the things that is being talked about these days is the use of natural farming, but there are many questions here. If we want to harvest around 5 tons of, say, rice or wheat per hectare, the plants will extract or need to have in the soil around 175 kilograms of nitrogen, 25 kilogram of phosphorus, and 50 kilogram of potash. If we go to the organic farming where we use 10 tons of farmyard manure per hectare, that will only supply you around 25 kilograms of nitrogen, around 5 kilograms of P2O5, and around maybe 7 to 8 kilograms of potash. That cannot meet the nutritional requirements of the crop for it to grow enough then to give you a yield of 5 tons per hectare. Compared to it, whatever is recommended in our this natural farming or prakriti kheti, the Jeev Amrits and Ghan Amrits, based on the data that I inferred from the published papers from different sources, that Jeev Amrit or Ghan Amrit will only supply you about half a kg nitrogen and around 0.0253 kg or grams of phosphorus and potash. It means these sources, although they will help improve the plant growth, but they cannot meet the nutritional requirements of the plant, and hence, until and unless we replenish the plant nutrients in the soil, we cannot maintain the fertility status or health of the soil, and hence, this will not be sustainable in the long run. And many of the instances that I have seen in many institutions in ICAR and in the university that I visit, quite often, many of the plots that are kept under organic or natural farming, they look probably not so attractive, both in growth wise and also the what we call the crop quality, and people will not buy them, and their yield levels are only around 45 to 50% or what you see with the recommended package of practices. However, it's not that we do not look at organic matter and we don't look at the components of the natural farming. We can use these components along with the conventional practices of crop production and see how these can help to build up the soil organic matter, because that's important for the microbial growth, and also how we can reduce the fertilizer use or the pesticide use. Another important component when we go for green revolution or Harit Kranti is to have, we must look at food production, and that too wherever the food is grown. So there we must have either factories to process the food, buy the food. But one of the important things that we can do is actually go for the drying of the vegetables and fruits, and that will not only will reduce the volume by about 5%. There is 80% water in most fruits and vegetables. If you dry it, you have about 1 quintal you can reduce to 17 kg. That will reduce the transportation cost. That will reduce the volumes. And this will also increase the shelf life by about 6 months to one year. And this can also go for a premium in the supermarket. So, and for that purpose, in addition to the conventional, what you call hot air dryers, there are also solar dryers that have been developed. It has been developed at non-universities, maybe many others have developed. We must have solar dryers in each and every panchayat. So wherever there is excess production, the farmers can go there, dry the fruits and vegetables, and then package them and sell them later in the year when there is a less supply. So drying, packaging, processing, or converting into something like pickles or other things will help to build up help the farmers to increase their income if there is excess production. And no amount of food that is produced by the farmers actually should be allowed to be spoiled, either at the farm level or at the factory level, or in the vegetable market or at the consumer's level, because it takes a lot of effort to produce that food. That takes nutrients, that takes pesticides, of course, and of course the farmer's labor. So we must always ensure that whatever food we produce, we use it properly. And for us to then accelerate the pace of this revolution in Nav Harit Kranti is we must use the IT. We must give all the latest information to the farmer through the electronic and whatever other digital media, use WhatsApp applications, and of course, precision application is all based on data collection, and apply only the amounts of fertilizers or pesticides that are needed by the crop. For us now to make a headway in this one, major issue in India is the small holdings, the fragmentation of holdings. And that is why actually after a two-year discussion, the scientists have recommended to go for cooperative and contract farming so that our land holding size becomes at least 500 acres or 5,000 hectares. If you go in Australia and the US, each field is about 500 or 1,000 acres, and each farmer has about 10 to 20,000 acres of crops. So there they can go for a mechanization, they can go for precision farming, and their then cost of cultivation comes to be much lower than what we have in India. So we should probably adopt these practices. In many states, contract farming, in fact, it has been prevalent in the society. Whosoever cannot cultivate his field, he will give it to the other tenant, and he will give him back half of the produce, whatever he harvests. Of course, we must have crop insurance, and last but not the least, we must make agriculture a profitable profession, that a farmer with around 3 to 5 acres of land, he should be able to earn as much as a scientist does, a doctor does, or an engineer does. So farmers must get the right price for their crop, not MSP, but it should be the optimum price. because he has to feed his children, he has to educate his children, and he has to protect the health of his family. Farmer is not a poor farmer. Farmer should be a respectable man, is the most respectable member of the society. And one of the actually issues in the rural areas is that nobody wants to go for farming anymore. They will go to a nearby town and even work for 10 to 15,000 rupees a month, and you don't save any. Because if you remain in the village, so then people ask what your son is doing. नहीं, वो घर में रहता, खेती करता है, फिर उसको शादी करने की प्रपोजल जाएगी तो भी लोग बोलेंगे कि वे लड़का कुछ नहीं करता, and that's not true. The farmers are the most hardworking lot, so we must ensure that they get the right price and they earn enough from the land to sustain the farm family. So thank you very much for your patient listening. I hope you did, and have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
Before we conclude today's session, I would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. H.C. Sharma, sir, for delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking lecture. Thank you, sir. It is an honor for Just Agriculture that you joined today's session. It is such a wonderful and delightful lecture. Dear participant, this is all the today's session. Tomorrow's schedule you will get in the WhatsApp group. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. I'll send you the PPT. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.